We are back once again. I'm sorry about earlier's live feed. The phone kept overheating, and I said I wanted to get all my information and stuff straight before we go into tonight's topic. I know it sucked. I was right in the middle of breaking this stuff down, and so hopefully I can get everything that I need to be said out so we can get a clear definition and explanation as to the topics that are on the topic block tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is the one and only that beautiful Rhode Island Red Rooster. And as always, bring you the knowledge and drop the science in this industry of what we call trucking. As you guys come in, as you do as always, give me an audio check. You know everything and stuff is good. All right, brother preacher. Hey, want you to hang on tight because we're going to talk about something. We're going to go more in detail about what you were. It was something that you experienced, and so it's a lot of the drivers that were experiencing the same thing. So, hang on tight. It's going to be one for the books. Is my audio coming through good? All right, Mr. Turner. Truck. Yes, okay, all right. Audio's down. All right. So I'm in the area. You know, you guys and stuff knew that from my last live feed, not the one I did today, but the one I did earlier this week. I said there was a couple places I was going to travel to, and so one of the first places I had on the chopping block was Atlanta, Georgia. So I was speaking about particular peoples, and I thought that if I named the area that people will actually know who exactly what it was. And so, I mean, I guess we got to go into specifics because we don't want to speculate. All right. The first name that I was dropping, of course, is Truck and Hustle, or Truck in the Hustle, right? Crazy fuel prices and low rates. Okay, yeah, we're going to break into that too. Let's see, about to pass through Atlanta in a couple hours. All right, well, I'm over here in Jackson, Georgia. So, what I was saying about some of these guys that get up here and say certain things about the trucking industry is that, I have to understand that they come from an area of inexperience, right? And that's okay. That's all right. However, the information that they put out there, because of their inexperience, is incorrect, and it gives the wrong assumption about what this industry is and what it stands for. Right. There's a lot of money that can be made in it, but people are not telling the true what you actually have to do in order to get to their goal, right? And so when you actually put it out there, some people are not ready to make that type of sacrifice. They ain't ready to make that type of move. And again, that's okay. But, it's not one of these industries where it is an industry where you can make the money based upon. Let's see, it sounds like my Bluetooth is switching back. It is? Okay, all right. Explaining is that the money is here, the money can be made, but they don't talk about what has to be done in order for this money to be made. So, Truck Hustle has a podcast. Those two brothers, they bring on a lot of the people in the industry that are doing great things in the industry. Okay, all right, yeah, no problem. I just want to make sure that everybody can hear me, want to make sure everybody can hear me. Okay. All right, so these two brothers, they set the podcast up, they're doing their thing, they talk to people that's in the industry that are doing great things in the industry. And so, some of these guys that they interview are people that I know personally. People that I know personally. So, so what I try to do is, when you're a business and you're a business that's based upon, providing a great service, I recommend that people go over there. If anyone asks me, okay, is there a place where I can go to get, to get tires? Okay, so I'll send you over there. If I know that you're really sincere about, trying to get things done with your business, we try to coordinate with other people that are doing business as well, And so it's not really a connect. It's not really a connect, but at the same time, it's not a plug to say where you can go over here, you're gonna get a discount or whatever. But I'm sending you over here with the intention of knowing that these guys are gonna do a good job, they're gonna provide a good service, they're gonna have a good product, in hopes that you will deal with them on a consistent basis based upon the things that you need. So, if the business does good, then they'll expand. If they'll expand, then there are other places that you can go to try to weed out some of the competition that we go to. Because, as a small business, we can't go to the TAs and the Loves and all these other places and get those discounts and stuff as opposed to going to someone in small business that has, they're selling products at a fair market value as opposed to like a $4 or $5 mark, because we don't have these corporate accounts. So, those guys, they go up there and they do their thing and stuff, and they kind of become disingenuous, right? They become disingenuous because, when you go to their place of business, they speak on one thing, they're being humble, and then, when they do the podcast, these interviews kind of come off as being a little bit arrogant, and that's just not the truth. So, when you put off that wrong type of vibe in your business, and then people are coming over there, right? And then people are coming over there because, when me and you politicking, we do business, we talk, you're on a sense of being understanding and very humble, but yet, when you're projecting yourself out there, that's, about your business, then there are a lot of things that are exaggerated. You see, and so now that I'm connected to that, it's okay, well, I got to tone things down a little bit to say, okay, well, they're kind of over-exaggerating things, because what I'm doing, I got my mentoring program that's going on. That's totally free for anybody that's interested. You just got to have the time to do it. And so these names will come up and say, well, hey, these guys right here, he's making, this person here, they started out their business and now they're making millions of dollars and stuff. And I'm like, well, okay, well, let's do the numbers. Let's do the numbers. Because you got a gross, you got a net. And it's not to say that they didn't do it. It's just at the time that they did it, they got themselves set up. What are they doing now? Because a lot of these guys and stuff, you go look for them, they don't have a solidified place of business. Like I said, they'll show off their houses and their cars, but okay, where's their business at? Where's their property? That's the meter right there on which you judge how well they're doing in business. Because there was a guy at a truck stop. This guy pulled up. He had a Bentley Continental GT, and stuff. He pulled up in there, and that car, a Bentley Continental GT. Especially if they go over 2012, they're going easily over $100,000. $100,000, that's for the lowest model. I believe he had either a 12 or a 13. You really can't tell the difference with those Continental GTs past 2012, but I'm assuming that's what he had. But that car goes for easily $100,000, right? This is what he's pulling up in the truck stop. So, people looking at his car, dope car and stuff like that. But then when you look at the equipment that he's getting out of now, this guy's over here driving. He's over here pushing a 90. it's anywhere between a 98 to a 2005 International 9400 Condo Edition, right? With a reefer unit. Now his car and stuff, I mean, the car looking real good, but that truck on the other hand is money making. Not so much. And so I'm like, see what I'm saying? It's easy to put the money into those type of things there, cars and stuff like that, but then, turn around and put it back in your business. Now he's ducking and dodging, and stuff, just like right now. He's taking the week off because of this blitz. And so what I tell people is that if you grind for the first year, if you got the business down pat and the consistency down pat, and you grind for that first year, that second year, that's when people go out there and they get the cars and they go on the trips and all this other stuff there. That's kind of a reward for being on the grind 24/7, 365 to get the business up and running. And then you see that there's going to be consistency coming out of things that you did. You can reward yourself. You can say, well, yeah, I'm going ahead and get the house, I'm going to get the car, that sort of thing there. But as far as like upgrade the business, as long as, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That sort of concept there and stuff. But that a lot of people's equipment look a certain way, especially when you're in a certain sector of the business. And so, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not like, I can understand if you over in the woods hauling logs in the oil field and stuff in the dirt, that sort of thing there. But I'm saying, when most of the time what you're doing is out here on these highways and byways, i.e. like containers, when you look at those guys' trucks and stuff, you see that they're kept a certain way. They look a certain way. So, you see them and then, I mean, they speak for themselves and stuff, but like I said, I'm gonna bring it to you. I'm gonna bring it to you, since they say, well, it's money in it, and I'm not denying it. But, just make sure that you put your money in the right place in your business, because take care of your business will take care of you. All right, so as I was going into the numbers with Truck and Hustle, and of course they're down in Atlanta, and I took the long way around, by the way. I took the long way around. I took the loop the long way around. I couldn't find them guys nowhere, I couldn't find that cartoonish trailer and stuff like that. But, I mean, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, I'm in your area, so if I'm in your area, you're doing big things, I should at least see something. And there's no doubt that you are doing great things. It's just, some of the stuff is just a little bit exaggerated because nobody's going to go in and actually see what is it that you're doing exactly. Making big waves, but what you're making big waves, the fact that you're taking the information maybe and then incorporating it for yourself, and nobody's going back to I don't know. But that's why my mentoring program is free. It's on point, even though it's long-winded. But the purpose is to make sure I'm not capitalizing on people because of what they don't know, but actually getting them up to par on things that they should know, so that they can stick around and be in business. Because, like I said, the harvest is plentiful, the labor is few, despite the fact that, things aren't very favorable in the industry right now. Okay, so 3.5 million explained in intermodal, right? 3.5 million. Okay, so let me just take this down here, and we're gonna do the math together. Like I said, if I'm wrong, they're more than welcome to come up and correct me and say, okay, well, yeah, this kind of an exaggeration, but just remember now, you got just remember, if it's an exaggeration, remember, you put it out there. I'm just putting it in its proper perspective. So if it's not where it's supposed to be at, then that's not me saying it, that's you saying it. I'm just putting it where it is and showing you how it's done. Okay? So this right here is in real time, right? You get a calculator. You get a calculator and stuff. So 3.5 million. So that's that's 3,500,000, right? It's 3,500,000. So you take this number right here. Take this number right here and you divide it by 52. I said divide and I multiplied. So you gotta excuse me. So 3.5. So you divide that by 52. And that comes up with this number right here and stuff. So again, this is what you need to be looking at. And let me put it right there. Let me set it right there. So this is what you need basically. You know, you need for 52 weeks, this is what you need to be grossing right here. That's $67,307.69. Right? For 52 weeks. Okay? Now, you take this number here, and we're going to, since you're doing intermobile, right, we're going to divide it by 5, right? We're going to divide it by 5. So take this, divide it by 5. It comes up with this number right here. This is what you need to be looking at again. $13,461.53. Okay, this is the number you need to be looking at. So, all right, if you're doing this for 5 days, if you averaging this 5 days, well, I kind of got lost in the chain of thought. This guy over here kind of moving around. So, okay, so $13,461.53. So we divided that by 5, and then we divide that by 5 and stuff. So that's what we come up with. So this is what you got to be making a day right here. This is what you got to be making a day and stuff in order to make this right here a week. Okay, so they're saying, well, daggone, who the heck is making $13,461 a day? Now, the number you need to look at is this number right here. This is the number you need to look at, 13. Okay, so if you got 13 contractors, and 13 contractors are making, let's just say, $1,100 a day doing intermobile, right, for 5 days. So to show you this and stuff, you know, again, so we're going to clear this on out. All right, so you got 13 contractors making 1,100. No, crap, come on, man. Okay, so you got 13 contractors times $1,100 a day. Okay, so that's 14,000. That's 14,300. So it's a little bit high, right? It's a little bit high and stuff. So we're gonna drop it down and stuff. Let's just say same 13 drivers, and they're making 1,050 a day. Okay, so 13,600. So that's about where you want to be at right there. About 1,050. They make 1,100. That's good. That's cool too. Remember, you're doing intermobile now. You're doing intermobile and stuff. And so again, the average is $1,100 a day for 5 days. So you go on over there, you're picking up the container, take it where it got to go, you drink, you bring it on back. They're over there making this money right here. Now, in messing with the containers, right? Messing with the containers, whether you're out there on the ship. So this is intermobile. This is intermobile. Intermobile, so they're dealing with the rail and stuff like that. So the nearest Intermobile is over there in Fort Worth, Texas. You know, most Intermobile yards and stuff, they work differently, but I know it's more. It's kind of a smooth. It's mostly a smooth operation out there in Fort Worth. You know, now this person over here is based in Dallas, Texas, right? Based in Dallas, Texas. So you got 13 contractors. So they saying, daggone. Well, I got more than 13 contractors. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing a number out there, 13, right? So if you got more, then that means that if you got more, what you say that you do, then it should be more easier for you to make the money. I'm just saying, you know, right there, 13, and you're not even really exhausting yourself. You're not really exhausting yourself. You got 13 contractors. You got a consistent contract, and you know that you're gonna be making over $1,000 a day doing those container runs, right? Because, you know, in containers, you know, for some people that aren't caught up to speed and stuff, you know, the containers only pay one way. The containers only pay one way. All right, I'll be John Brown and Sean Brown. They pay one way, so, but they supposed to pay good enough to where you go, you make your deliveries, and you come back. So, with this particular person, you say, you know, you can run under their authority. You don't have to do intermodal. You know, you can do other stuff too. You know, in other words, you can run off the spot market, or if they have any contracts, which I'm pretty sure she does. You know, that's the whole purpose of going over there and leasing on with them, so you can run their freight. I don't know particularly what the contract consists of as far as about what she pays, right? But I'm just going based off the intermodal. You got an intermodal operation that's making $3.5 million. $3.5 million. So again, if you land a contract and your contract is paying that amount of money to move that amount of loads, and so again, in order for you to have a contract in certain sectors in business, you gotta have a certain amount. You gotta have a certain amount of trucks and stuff to go in. So you got a certain amount of trucks to go in. You got one person to go in and manage it, and there it is. So everybody's happy. Okay, I'm a container runner. So that's what I want to do right there. $1,000 a day. $1,000 a day. You know, home every day, off every weekend. So you're doing about $5 gross. Your truck's paid for. You usually have, you know, your overhead and stuff is kind of high, but remember, your truck's not going anywhere. You're averaging this amount. Lowe's could be paying more. And stuff. In fact, you know, you let them tell it is. But that's the average that you gotta have right there. So, you know, the guy wants to go, run, be back, you know, get up in the morning, home at 5 o'clock. So, you know, in containers, what you want to do is that you want to expedite the process. So you got 13 contractors, you got 13 loads. You got 13 loads got to be pulled. So, you know, let's just say you get you a local driver, right? You get you a local driver and stuff. So I believe that they call them the dray booms, right? They call them the dray booms. So the dray booms is about $100. It's $100 there, it's $100. It's $100 in, $100 out. This is what I seen on the average. You know, if I'm wrong and stuff, like I said, correct. But you know, on average, I'm seeing $100 to take the load to the yard, $100 to bring the new one and stuff out. So if you got, let's just say okay, so you know, you got $100. You got $100 for each load. Okay. So you're doing, you got 13. All right, so you got 13, you multiply that by 2. So 13, let me go over here and do the calculator so y'all don't think I'm making this stuff up. Okay, go back to our handy dandy calculator again. So you got 13 loads and stuff. So you're gonna be making 13 moves. You're bringing the load out, you're taking another one in. You're doing 13 moves, right? So you're charging $100 in, $100 out. So that's $200, right? So 200 times 13. It's 2,600. Okay, that's 2,600. What's going on, Brandon? Okay, so you got 26. So you're making $2,600 a day, right? $2,600 a day and stuff. You're charging $100 and stuff for move. $100 go in, $100 come out. All right. Now, here's where if the consistency comes in, right, everybody's getting taken care of. Check this out. It's 26, right? So 26 times 5. That's $13,000. Now, let's just say you got to get a truck to go in there and stuff. So we're not gonna do the own operator thing. I'm gonna go and get me I'm just go and get me a truck. You know, I'm just go get me a truck. You know, it ain't gotta be nothing fancy, just enough to go down there, pick the load up at the yard, take it over there to the container yard, bring it on back, right? You know, just get your regular day cab. You ain't gotta go get nothing new, nothing fancy. But if you want to, that's cool, right? Because remember, you know, you're making $13,000 a week. $13,000 a week. Just taking drays and stuff in there, right? $100 in, $100 out. So let's just say you go and you get you a truck and you hire you a company driver and say, well, I'm gonna cut you in on 15%. I'm gonna give you 15%. Give you 15%, right? So let me put this another way. I'm gonna pay you $15. I'm gonna pay you $15 to go in there, $15 to come back. So that's $30. So your local driver is making $30, right? They're making $30 to go run the load and stuff and come back to the yard. That's all they got to do all day, 13 times, right? So $30 times 13. So he making $390 a day. He making $390 a day and stuff, right? So we take that 390 and we multiply that by 5. So he's making $19.50. Now remember, you know, we was having this discussion a while back. You know, I believe Trucker Brown was talking about, can a person do local? Can a person do local and make $1,000 a week? Of course they can. There it is right there. If you get paid $30 a hit, right? That's 15%. $30 a hit, 13. So you're making 13 moves. That's $19.50. Now check this out. Okay, he's making $19.50. So let's just say you're a company driver. Say you're a company driver making 60 cents a mile, right? You're making 60 cents a mile as a company driver. If you do 3,000 miles a week, if you do 3,000 miles a week, you're only making $1,800. You're only making $1,800. If you're getting paid 60 cents a mile doing 3,000 miles a week, as opposed to being a local driver, doing 13 moves a day for 5 days. So that means you're off every day, home every weekend, making $19.50. Or you can get paid 60 cents a mile if you qualify, doing 3,000 miles a week, only making $1,800. So you see, when you break that dynamic down to a driver, when you break that dynamic down and say, hey man, listen, this is what I'm offering you over here, as opposed to you going over here to this other company. Now you got to do 3,000 miles. Wherever the load takes you, that's where you're going to go. That's where you're going to end up. One thing for certain that you're not going to be doing, you're not going to be home every day. You're not going to be home every day. And you're certainly not going to be home every weekend. and you only making 1,800. Now you driving my truck doing 13 loads a day, picking up at the yard, taking it to the port, coming on back, you're making 1,950. Okay, so if you're making 1,950 a week times 52, you're making 100,000. You're making 400 a year. 400 a year. Okay, now in the state of Texas, for people that may not know, the median income in the state of Texas is $68,000. That's for a household. So the average person in the household in Texas is making $31,000. The median income in Texas, in the state of Texas, is $68,000. And here you are, a local driver in Texas, home every day, off every weekend, making 400 a year, doing 13 moves every day for 5 days. Average. So if you can get a little bit, so that's if they got 13 contractors, right? They say they got more in there. And stuff, so there's the numbers. So let me show you the other cut. Now it's 15%, right? So we take the 15%. So in other words, we subtract $30 from 200. That gives you 170. Okay, so 170 times 13, that's 2210, right? So then we multiply that times 52. Oh, that's not right. Okay, 170. Make sure I'm doing this right. 170 times 13. It's 2210. Okay, it's 2210. So now you take 2210 times 5, excuse me. So that's 11,000. That's 11,500, right? So you take that and multiply that by 52. Now you got $574,600. $574,600. Now remember, that's you charging $200. Well, actually, that's you charging $100, right? $100 to drop the load off at the port, another $100 to bring the load back. It's $200. Now, after you done took that 15% out, right? This is your cut after everything's said and done. And so, remember, you bought a truck, you bought this day cab. I'm pretty sure that day cab didn't cost you $574,600. So all things considered, if you know where her yard is, and stuff, you know what the expenses and stuff that's involved in that. Here it is, she got over $500,000 just doing that. So remember, if you got more, which she says she has, right, then the numbers go up. If she got more, like she says she does, then the numbers go up. I'm just doing that off a minimum right there. So, is it possible? Yeah, it's absolutely possible. But you see, you're going to have to be on your grind. If you got the consistency, and you let everybody know what time it is. So, what she's saying is that some people come in there and not knowing what time it is, right? So, they're coming in under the assumption, hey, listen, I just want to be home. I just want to make a few dollars. if it's her contract, what are some of the things and stuff that these drivers have been talking about? Well, I don't need to see no rate confirmation sheet. So you don't need to see a rate confirmation sheet, and you don't know what the actual load is paying. Do you actually get to see what she's booking the loads and stuff for, or is she just putting something out there that's livable, that's feasible, right? Because remember, you don't know and you don't think it's important. So I'm just using a minimized number right there and stuff, and people are saying, okay, well, that's good enough for me. You know, if I'm making $5,000 a week. Remember, you know, I don't want to be out here on this road and stuff like that. Hey, I go do my thing, come home and stuff like that. I'm off every day at 5 o'clock. I'm off every weekend. Get back out here and get on the grind and stuff again. You know, my money's consistent. Loads and stuff are consistent. You know, I done talked to her. I got this sector right here going on. She got this contract laid out. She got her 13 drivers. She got this space. There it is. Like I said, she probably got a lot more stuff. She was advertising the fact, hey, come on down here, get your own authority. You know, if you got your own authority, you can lease on with me and we can do loads and stuff like that. So she's in other sectors, but again, there's the 3.5 million explained off the intermodal. So if you get out here and you grind, which I've been telling guys and stuff, if you're in the lease purchase program, what you need to be doing, you need to be grinding the whole time. You don't need to be sitting there going home and getting comfortable and all that stuff there. First thing first, what do? Your first paycheck, tell anybody. Go over there and get your credit fixed, because the reason why you're in the lease purchase program is because you have zero capital, you got $0. You have absolutely no capital, and your credit and stuff is jacked up. So you're trying to put your money together because you're trying to formulate a plan to get yourself into something that's your own. Because ultimately, what's the goal? To get your own authority and have your own independence. That's the end game. Never discourage anybody from telling them to get their own authority. But if you're going to get your own authority, there's a right way of doing things, there's a wrong way of doing things. You don't have to jump too early. Use these programs for what they are to get yourself where you need to go. It's as simple as that. Don't get comfortable in the pro. Hey, if you got to go to Prime, go to Prime. You know, that's why I respect Trucker Brown. You know, Trucker Brown, he got over there, he showed guys how to do it. Went over there, he got that truck. He ran for a little while. He got up with ED Code. He saved up about $25,000, and when he got what he needed, he went over there and he purchased Dirty Red, which I say that was the only mistake that I say that he made. He should have took low shine route. You know, he should have took low shine route and stuff. I mean, you love being out here on this road. You love running. You love running. You just need to go and get your brand new truck and be done. Because you certainly work, you know, he certainly worked hard enough. He was out here hard enough, but you know, you're just trying to get a used truck. You're trying to get a used truck to do, you know, to run all the 48 states and stuff, you know, run over there to the West Coast. And so Dirty Red, she did as much as she could do, you know, and she went down. You know, if he would have took low shine route and just went and got that new truck, you know, he would, you know, he would certainly be, you know, he wouldn't be talking about, you know, being an owned operator is such a bad thing. I mean, because he certainly was in the presence of those who sit there and got him on the right path, get his credit and stuff straight, turning his money into capital. Because, I mean, you know, despite how you may feel about Mr. E.D. Cole and stuff, you know, I peeped this man out, and I think that his information was on point. You know, based on the research that I got, you know, for the most part, a lot of people have been satisfied with it. Got them into places and showed them how to turn, you know, showed you, you know, in other words, he showed you true financial literacy. You know, it's just what people didn't like was the fact that they had to pay for the information. And so, I mean, you know, that's another sector. Time is money. You know, time is money. But I mean, at the same time, I mean, you know, it's his information was on point to a point where if you invest, right, and if you invest and you really put the time in, because you know, that's what it is to be a business person. You know, it's got to be business all the time, because remember, you're coming from a place where you don't have money, you don't understand credit, you don't have financial literacy. So you're getting a truck that's overpriced. Getting a truck that's overpriced and stuff. Here's another example. Here's another example and stuff. Over here where I'm leased on that, I can't tell people where. I got the volume down. Okay, I'm messing up now. Okay. Now let's do some math and stuff again. Okay, over here where I'm leased on that, he just went and purchased some brand new 2013 those Peterbilts. They ain't exactly 379s, but they not the 379s and stuff. I forget the models that they are, but now these guys are paying $1,400 a week, right? They're paying $1,400 a week. Now these are trucks that they can own. After 4 years, the truck will be theirs, right? So let's do the math again. You're paying $1,400 a week times 52. So that's $72,800. $72,800 stuff. Keep this number in mind, right? Because we're gonna go over here to we're gonna go over here to my favorite people. Give me 1 second. We're gonna go over to my favorite people. Ohio Truck Sales. So going over here to Ohio Truck Sales and stuff like that, and we're gonna look at these Kenworths over here. We're gonna look at these Kenworths over here and stuff, and so what's this? Recently reduced. Are people starting to feel the sting now? I'm just saying, Now, that truck there, they want $74,999, right? So remember, he's paying $72,000. So for another $2,000, you had this truck paid off in a year. You had this one paid off in a year and stuff. Let's see, that's an 01. And that's $64,999, right? Oh, these trucks hold value. And there's another one. And there's a 99 right there and stuff. You can go ahead and get that truck and it can be ELD exempt. And you done paid for the truck. You done paid for the truck and stuff in this first year. So just remember now, it's going to take you 4 years to pay that truck off. And you got $72,999 and stuff in this truck right here can be yours. Oh, okay. Well, that truck's a little bit too old, right? But it is a W900 after all. It's a W900 after all and stuff. And so, you got $72,000. So with this truck right here is a 2015. So you can have that truck paid off for 2 years. This one right here, you can own it in a year and a half. You can own it in a year and a half. This one right here, another year and a half. This one right here, a year and 2 months. This one right here, a year and 2 months. And so again, these are Kenworth W900s. So these are Kenworth W900s. So you're getting the point, right? You're getting top of the crop trucks. You're getting top of the crop trucks and stuff. And so let me show you. Let's see, what particular truck was I talking about? Let's see, the Peterbilt. Hold on, they might show an image. Somebody said, was it 380? No, it's not the 389, no. Wait a minute, hold on, let me see. 389. No, it's not. It's not the 389 and stuff. Hold up, let me see. Um, okay, it's this truck right here. It's this truck right here and stuff. So what model is that? Oh, the 567. Okay. So you're getting a truck like this. It's brand new. In 4 years, the truck will be yours, right? $1,400 a week. So for $72,000 a year. So for $72,000 a year, yeah, that's right. Yeah, the 567. Come on, where's my calculator at? All right, so that's 72,800. So you take that, multiply that by, let's see, 36. All right, so that's 48. Yeah, I had to count with my fingers. I had to count with my fingers and stuff. So you got 48. Hold on, let's see. 72,800 times 4. So the truck is $291,200. That's how much you're gonna have in that truck. That's how much you're gonna have in the truck and stuff in 4 years. $291,200. So you got $250,000 into a truck and it's yours after 4 years, right? So in other words, you could sit there and so say you bought the truck, say you buy that W900. Say you buy that W900, right? You bought the W900 in 1 year. So you got 3 years, and you basically do the same thing. You got that money right there on top of whatever money that you save. So you got 3 more years. So you got 3 more years of 72,800. And so people talk about, I don't know how I'm going to make it. I don't know how I'm going to make it, but yet you can get into a lease program and get comfortable in that program, and you can give them all that money. And you can't take the time inside there to get your stuff straight and put some money away. Because, you know, if you're in a lease program, it's just like anything else. If you ain't got no money, hey, you're going to have to work double time. That's why when people get money, when they get to the positions where they are, they're not as humble as people want them to be. Like, well, how come most millionaires aren't charitable? How come they aren't charitable? Well, if you look at where they had to get, you look at what they had to do in order to get there. They look at all that grind that they had to do. All the time, you know, taking loads and stuff or doing work for people that, you know, people are catching attitudes, or they trying to get you jammed up on certain things, right? Or you got to start taking L's on certain stuff, right? To learn lessons. But you learn your lesson. And so, you know, when you get where you got to go, I mean, yeah, you know, your heart is as chiseled as stone. Well, your heart is as hard as stone. But if you look at everything you had to do to get where you had to go, they'll give you a bit of advice and tell you, hey man, listen, where you got to go, man, it's gonna be hard, it's gonna be tough. And that's a straight up honest truth. But to sit there and say, well, all right, I done worked and did all this work and got all these millions of dollars, and then I'm just gonna take this money and just throw it away. And just throw it into the winds to somebody that you give it to, and then when you give it to them, they don't appreciate it. They just go and blow the money and stuff, which took you years. You know, some days you didn't eat, some days you didn't sleep right. All the birthdays that you missed, the vacations you couldn't go on, you know. This thing gonna have a profound psychological effect on you. So I say in the midst of me getting there, I might as well get humble now and stuff, because, you know, I get where I gotta go, you know, if I'm keeping this stuff to myself, once I get there, then there's no point of saying, well, hey, you know, Red Rooster, you got a few minutes to talk? No, I ain't got a few minutes to talk. I'm too busy doing stuff, like going to the Cayman Islands and stuff, you know. And even there, I'm still doing business, guys, you know. I'm relaxing a little bit, but I'm thinking about all the money I could be making if I was right in the thick of it. So let me see what I can do in this position right here and stuff, and just say, you know what, I'm gonna go and cut my vacation short. I'm gonna go and cut my vacation short. I'll do it another time. But that's what you up against. So first thing first, I tell people, get into a lease program, your first settlement, what you should be doing is finding somebody to fix your grid. Find somebody that can fix your grid. That's the first thing. Second thing is finding someone that can teach you about financial literacy. You know, you need to learn the ins and outs and stuff, man, on how to navigate, you know, how to navigate through, you know, finance, or understand the financial literacy. How to navigate through this business, because, you know, in the midst of you learning your business, the key to it is consistency. So, you know, what things are actually lost, and then what things and stuff aren't. You know, should we really be in a panic? The fact that fuel went up to $5 or $6 or whatever, you know, guys. I mean, I done been down here in the South, and you know, the highest I seen fuel is down here $5.76. I'm like, man, I'm just laughing at this stuff, you know, shoot. I done been up there in, you know, I've been up there in Connecticut, Jersey, Mass, and, you know, the lowest you gonna get diesel fuel up there and stuff is about $6.30-some. So, you know, hey, you down here, you running, you winning. You know, you down here, you running, you winning, because, hey, you know, for every 100 gallons you got to put in your truck, man, it's costing me. You know, if it's $5.40 here and stuff, it's costing me an extra $100 just to stay up there in the Northeast. For every 100 gallons, so, you know, you figure, like, man, shoot, how many miles and stuff you running? How many miles you running? Because that's how much of a loss that you take. On top of the other loss and stuff, where you was used to paying diesel fuel at, let's see, what was the average? About $3.70 something. Well, I'm gonna say 353, something like that, you know, 350, 370. So, you know, fuel went up $2, so so that's an extra 100. You know, that's an extra 100 on what you used to be paying and stuff. So you're paying what, extra $200 per 600 miles that you run, or per 100 gallons of fuel that you put in your truck. So yeah, it's a real big loss. And then if the rates didn't catch up, to what you was actually hauling, or you just doing the stuff under par, now you starting to feel it. But where did that come from? All the guys that was doing the PPP, truck flex and stuff last year. You know, I'm gonna get in it, run off the spot market, I don't need no contract. You know, I'll run a few Amazon loads, and things get, you know, worse get the worst. Very things that we were trying to tell people and stuff, you know, that time is here now. It's just saying, listen, if you got any kind of money, hold on to what you got. Don't go out there, don't purchase nothing right now. You need to hold on to what you got, because you're going to need it. That's that rainy day money and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I mean, these times, they pass, just like, you know, just like in 2008. You know, in 2008, diesel fuel got up for the first time $4 a gallon. You know, things got bad. Spot market, or just loads and stuff was garbage. You know, the housing market crashed. So if you was in a certain sector in business, you know, particularly if you was running flatbed, or if you was in construction, you know, it was a real bad time for you. You know, you had to sit those flatbeds down and hook you up to something else that was moving, dry van, refrigerator, whatever, you know, because flatbed just wasn't doing that. The flatbed, most of the stuff was building materials or housing materials, and with the housing market crash, but nobody building houses or maintaining laws, none of that stuff there. So these times they come, they go. If you are mindful about some of the things and stuff that go on, then if you're mindful about it, then you understand that, well, if there are certain things that are happening at this particular time here, just rest assured that in the world of business, they'll find ways to recoup. They'll find ways to recoup their losses. I hear a lot of people talking about China right now. Well, China shut down their shipping and all this other stuff here. Remember when Donald Trump was in office, he was putting those tariffs on them, right? He was putting the tariffs and stuff on them. So, he was making shipping a little bit more, shipping was a little bit more expensive for them. So they say, okay, well, yeah, we'll go ahead and pay for it now. We'll go ahead and pay for it now and stuff, but as the economy improves, then we'll sit there and we'll make our money back. And so you can see where they're shutting down the market. They're shutting down things right now, which is, it's a little risky on their part and stuff, but for the sake of, causing a shortage because they're flush with product. And then they just raise the stuff up and say, well, okay, all the money that we lost back in 2018, now we're making that money back. That money that we were supposed to make during that time, when you imposed those tariffs on us, we're making that money back. So that's what people do in business. Is that, all right, I got to pay for certain things and stuff. All right, I'll pay for it now, but once I find out the angle that I'm going to run on you, I'm just going to make my money back. You should have just went on ahead and paid me fairly and stuff, but because you didn't, I'm going to find a new way to recoup my money. And that's how it is in business. It's always going to find a way to recoup their money. Okay, so now we're going to go into another sector right here that I seen on Instagram that was interesting. So, to Brother Preacher, if you up here, you can contest to this, hopefully. So, just had it up here and it's gone. Oh, so, this was on my Instagram page, if I can find it. Now I had some issues with these guys too and stuff. Trucker Estates. I had some issues with these guys and stuff too, and so now I gotta go ahead and put them on blast. Right? I can't get this thing out of here. Okay, here we go. One second. Okay, so if you follow these guys and stuff, right, on Instagram, here's the guys right here, Trucker Estates. I mean, y'all guys are more than welcome to listen to the broadcast or give me you can give me a shout out and we can go into some dialogue. We can politic if you so wish. So here's these guys right here, right? Quickway Logistics. Come on, thing. Okay, carriers don't do business with Quickway Logistics, and so they want you to repost it. And so here's what the story states right here, for you guys and stuff that can read it. It's close up here. It said this carrier transported a load back in 413 for Quickway Logistics, and the driver was on time for both pickup and delivery. The driver accepted the tracking as part of the load agreement. Okay, keep that in mind right there. We're going to get to that in a few minutes. Okay, the driver arrived an hour before the delivery time and was told that they couldn't enter the property and would be called for unloading. However, after 3 hours, the driver checked back with the receiver, and they advised that they didn't have a door yet. Quickway Logistics was notified. Quickway Logistics explained that they would pay detention. Approximately 12 hours passed, no door still. The receiver and Quickway scheduled the load to be delivered from 4:13 to 4:15. The load was actually supposed to deliver on the 14th. It picked up on the 13th. It delivered on the 14th, which was the next day. But then they got it switched over to the 15th, which you'll see in a few minutes when I show you the rate confirmation. 2 days later, Quickway Logistics stated that they would pay detention and layover fee. However, a month and a half later, the carrier called more than 20 times and spent approximately 15 hours trying to get help with these issues. The carrier noted on Quickway Logistics website that they had a 1.4 rating, which I'll also show in a few minutes. A 1.4 rating, and 95% of the reviews was related to the matter or other carriers not being paid. The carrier sent over 15 emails to more than 8 employees because they asked they was asked by Quickway Logistics. Nonetheless, Quickway Logistics was rude, disrespectful, and hung up the phone on the carrier several times. The carrier employees to their administration. Subsequently, the administration sent the carrier an updated rate confirmation, reducing the original amount, which was paid $800 to $675, stating that the carrier did not use the tracking which they did. Please report for this carrier. This is not right. Stand for something as minorities and small carriers, or stand for nothing. These brokers can't keep treating us like trash. Okay, so we go to the next page, and then it gives you a breakdown of what happened, right? So they picked the load up, and Niagara and ATL and stuff over there in Newman, Georgia. The date of the pickup was on the 13th at 19:30, so 7 o'clock that night, and it was going over here to Birmingham, Alabama, for 6:30 appointment the next day. So Newman, Georgia to Birmingham, Alabama is about 133 miles. Yeah, it's about 133 miles and stuff. So, you know, they looked at the load and stuff like that. You know, quick $800, $6 a mile. You know, $6 a mile and stuff. Load paying. And this is where it get kind of confusing to me. Okay, so I'm assuming that they originally booked the load for $800, right? So if they booked it for $800, then the load paid $6 a mile, right? Okay, then they got SFV, no Four Kites tracking. They charged them, they deduct $250 away from them. They paid them a layover of $125, which gave them a total of $675, and that's what they was paying them after a month later. So again, you know, real quick, you know, you sit there, you see the load posted, you're gonna call in and say, okay, even though the load is heavy, but it's paying $800, right? Picks up on the 13th, which was on a Wednesday, and it delivered on a Thursday in the morning, 6:30. So, you know, 133 miles, you go over there, pick load up, go to, you know, pick it up, run it over there to Alabama, get you some rest, get unloaded in the morning, pick something else up, do it again the next day. You might find another one for $800, right? So, there it is right there. So Four Kites tracking. All right, for anybody that's not familiar with Four Kites, oh wait a minute, no. Okay, anybody that's not familiar with Four Kites, in fact, I better Fat Daddy Trucker, what's going on with you? It's anybody that knows about Four Kites and stuff know it's not a reliable app, right? It's not a reliable app. In fact, in order for the app to work properly, you have to be on the app. You have to be on the app. It has to be open, and it has to stay running at all times. Which mean, like, if your phone, you know, you got to keep it on the app, and you got to keep it on and stuff. Just like making a phone call and stuff. If your screen if your screen and stuff goes black or whatever, then the Four Kites stop tracking. And so if it stops tracking, then that gives them justification to say that communication was killed between them and where the load of stuff was going, so they got the right to charge you. because I'm pretty sure and stuff. Okay, like if you're, if you got the app and your stuff does this, then FourKite shut down right then. It shuts down right then and stuff. And so I'm pretty sure it's on the rate confirmation sheet, right? That they say that you got to download the app. You got to download the app and stuff. And if there's any kind of miscommunication between you and the broker, they got the right to charge you $250, which they did, right? So I can imagine what happened right here. They went over here, they got to Birmingham. Hey, listen, this is business. It happens. It happens to the best of us. It's a good load. It's paying good money. You went over there, you picked it up, you got to Birmingham, you thought you was going to get it off at 6:30. They, for whatever reason, they wasn't ready for the load or whatnot and stuff. They told you, go around the corner, we'll call you. They didn't call you. These things happen in business. We like for things to flow. We like for things to flow smoothly, but unfortunately, that's what happened. And so, being that you had to sit there all day long and stuff, you had to make you probably made a phone call to these guys here, Buffalo Rock. Hey man, listen, what's the hold up and stuff, man? Good gracious. I was here at 6:30 this morning, man. Come on, dude. What's the hold up? Okay, well, listen, we're behind. We're short staffed. Just give us a few minutes. We'll call you in a few minutes. We're working on trying to get you unloaded. You know how these guys do. You know how they do. And so, instead of just taking the L, right? Instead of just taking the L and saying, well, daggone, you know what? This is just going to be one of these loads and stuff. I'm going to get on the phone. I'm going to start fussing and arguing and raising saying at people that are sitting there that's holding your money. Us fussing, arguing over people that got your money. You ain't got paid yet, right? So, you had to get your point proven across. You had to get your point proven across. So instead of let things be what it's going to be and stuff, because it's business, you got your point proven across and stuff like that. Okay, yeah, we'll pay you layover $125 to sit with the load till tomorrow. So you got unloaded the next day. You made $125, but you may have lost some money and stuff on the other end. These things happen because it's business. And so you talk to the broker and whatever. So the broker took it personally. They got your money and they saying, well, hey, what can we find these guys with? Well, they didn't use the tracking device. They still did have that load, even though they made it there on time. But they still had to sit with the load and stuff, and they cut off the communication with FourKites, even though they had to lay over with the load, which means they're still with that load. We still got to have access to you and stuff, because you still have our freight. Because of that, you broke protocol and stuff, which means that we got to fine $250, because it's up here on the rate confirmation sheet that you signed, agreeing that you will keep the app up until the load is delivered. So they hit you up with that, took the $250 from you. It's like, daggone, now that's another blow. That's another blow and stuff. So the load went from $800 to $675. And you had to sit a whole day and stuff behind it. So what's the lesson to learn? What's the lesson to learn and stuff? There's a couple of things. Number one, these type of things happen. So, in business, if something looks too good to be true, it is. The load's paying $6 a mile after all. We like to make sure that things and stuff go smooth. So this is where research is necessary. So if you look up the place Buffalo, Rock, every place got a review. And so when you see the reviews, you get something like what you see up here on Quickway Logistics. Get out of here. Okay. So going Quickway and stuff, and as you can see, Raycon, they got a 1.4 on their review. Come on. I didn't even ask for that. It's trying to give me the location of where the place is, so. Come on, preacher. You got another flat tire? What the heck, man? Come on, preach. Okay, so they got 1.4 in the reviews and stuff, and you can see up here. No after-hours support. We had a late pickup. You know, stay away. Worst broker ever. We booked the load. We booked the load with the company. They lied. You know. Another review after another review after another review. Don't do it. Terrible company. They will leave you hanging. Never work with this bad company. Terrible people. Just don't work with them. They won't answer the phone nor emails, and so you get this. And so you can see where some of this stuff is dated back 6 months, 5 months. Then there was one right there for a month ago. So this is the type of stuff that you run into, right? This is Quick Way Logistics out of, let's see, Medulla, Florida. They got another office up there in Nashville, Tennessee. So, Quick Way, they got Quick Way Logistics. They pretty much, their thing is that water. They do a lot of water. They do a lot of water loads and stuff like that. So, what happened in this situation here is what happened to the rest of us. You sit there and you book a load, and so they'll tell you, hey man, we're gonna send you a tracking device over there. We're gonna send a tracking device app to the phone. Just download it so we can see what your location is, so you ain't gotta worry about phone calls and stuff like that. So you say, yeah, kind of cool. So you already got the rate confirmation, right? That's all you need. So that tracking device stuff, you ain't trying to be worried with it, so you don't do the download. Right? Pick the load up, you deliver it, call them, hey man, listen, the load delivered, even though you got the tracking device on the phone, right? Even though you follow the tracking device to the letter, they still call you. Hey man, just seeing if you got the load picked up, then once you start moving, okay, just trying to get a location on you. I thought that was the whole purpose of me having fork ice, but all right, I'm over here in this location, my ETA is such and such, we all go through it. Then once you get to the constantly, same thing, they call you, okay, hey, just call and see if you made it to the receiver. Call and see if everything is okay. That sort of thing there. So, doesn't matter, you can download the app, they're still gonna call you. So, you're in the mindset of saying that, well, they're gonna call me anyway, so what's the point of me downloading the app? And so it gets you in the mindset of saying, I ain't gonna do it, right? And that's a tactic that they use. And so then they come back later on and they charge you and say, well, you didn't download the app, right? And so to your defense, you're gonna say, well, daggone, you guys keep calling me so much, what was the point of downloading? But they got it on the rate confirmation sheet that you were supposed to download it. Because there was miscommunication between you and them, they got the right to charge you, which is exactly what they're going to do. Now, in the case of them losing face and stuff with reputation, but remember, we were supposed to be boycotting TQL, and TQL is still doing good, contrary to most people believe. Contrary to the boycotts or whatever, they're still doing well. And so here it is, Quick Way Logistics. They got a 1.4 on the review. You can see people up there leaving bad reviews or whatever, but yet people still calling in there and booking loads with them, because right now we need money. I need money because I didn't get a contract, because I thought I could make money off this spot market. Remember, the load's paying $800. It's going 133 miles, $6 a mile. So the risk is worth the reward. That's how you get caught up. So instead of taking the L and stuff and taking it on the chin, we get up here on social media and say, man, hey man, look at what these guys are doing. Look at what these guys are doing and stuff, and just saying, okay, well, you know what? How do I protect myself from now on, right? Because the L is the L, right? They done took the 250 from you, and they done took the 250 from you, so where can you go to recoup that money? It's not big enough and stuff to go down to a small claims court or whatever, you know, or hire an attorney, because by the time you look at all the fees and everything that's incorporated with it, you know, and you win the case, you might, you know, you'll get that money plus restitution. But then again, I mean, hey, you know, they just got a judgment against them, man. You know, they're in Florida. And so, you know, for people that are not familiar with judgments and stuff in Florida, you know, that's why people move to Florida. If you get sued and you got a judgment against you, one of the best place to move is down there in Florida, because, you know, now they can't come after you for anything and stuff. You know, shout out O.J. Simpson, Donald Trump, and many others who have judgments against them that are trying to recoup the money, but being that you got residency in Florida, you know, you don't have to pay a dime, because you're protected by the state laws and state statutes that are there involved in judgment claims. So, you know, you go through all this instead of just taking the L and say, okay, how do I protect myself so that it doesn't happen again, right? So you book a load and then you see that they require that you do this. They require that you download this app, right? And the only way that the app works is that you got to keep the app active, which means that you got to be on the page 24/7. How do you get around it? Okay, well, you explain to them is that, man, listen, I'll do your load, but I'm not downloading any kind of tracking device and stuff on the phone. So if we're going to do business, I'm going to need some kind of email from you. Stating that, you know, we're not going to be doing this tracking device thing. Otherwise, that and stuff, we'll just go ahead and conclude our business, and that's that. So if everybody gets on code, it says that, right? Everybody gets on code, it says that, you know that you're dealing with a broker or whoever, and they're going to be calling you regardless of the fact that they're sending you this app and saying that they need to track your load. You know, just make that clear. And say, no, I'm not doing this because, you know, this is what y'all charge right here. And they're going to tell you, oh, man, don't worry about it. That's just a formality. Remember, that formality is something that they use because before they cut that check, they going in there and they looking and saying, okay, did this guy use this tracking device properly? Or, you know, even though they know that the tracking device is faulty, you know, there was miscommunication between us, and so because it's miscommunication thing, you gotta charge, you know. Hey, sorry, that's business. But if enough people stand on code and just simply state that, hey man, listen, this right here is something I can't do. They gotta get that load moved. You know, okay, fine, we'll go ahead and I'll send the email and stuff like that, or I'll write up a new rate confirmation, you know, just omit that part of the tracking device and we'll just communicate that part. There it is. You know, it's just like on your paperwork when they tell you, you know, okay, well, you can't put ship load count on the paperwork. Yeah, I'm going to put ship load count up there anyway. You know, I'm going to put it up there anyway and stuff, right? You know, we said to contain or whatever, because, you know, we ain't going on the dock counting no freight. But we're trusting the people to sit there and do their job and stuff like that. And they're saying, you know, hey man, somebody come up with a hustle and say, you know, look, dude, you can take a few of them boxes and stuff, right? Because the truck driver signed it for it. You can take a few of them boxes and stuff and they can get missing. And then, you know, even though you got the seal intact, okay, well, what does the paperwork say? That's the first thing they're going to say. Did you put ship load count on the paperwork? Did they put seal intact on the paperwork? You know, those are small things right there that can add up to, you know, add up for you costing big money. So you got to take accountability upon yourself and say, hey man, listen, I messed up. I screwed up and stuff. They got me, but they ain't going to get me no more. So, yeah, I'll do another load with Quick Lay Logistics. I sure will. I'll do another load with Quick Lay Logistics, but, you know, just, hey, I got to hike up the rate. just like just like what I do. Sometimes I go to places, they charge me late fees and stuff. Okay, I got to take that L. I got to pay that late fee and stuff, even though I know it's circumstances beyond my control, because I got to a place, picked up on time. I just didn't have the hours to make it there, so they gonna charge me a late fee. I don't fuss with them. Okay, yeah. I just go down in my notebook. I noted who the customer was and stuff like that. So when they give me another load going over there, okay, hey, listen, man, I'm gonna need $100 more and stuff for this load here and stuff, right? So whatever money more that I can get and stuff, I add that on. And so once I get my money back based upon those late fees and stuff, I go ahead, exit on out. And so the next loads and stuff I get, I don't ask for nothing, regular rate. But if it's a place that I know that I run into those issues right there, then I just go and get my money the next time. I don't discontinue it, I just get a little bit more smart. Because it wasn't a lot of money. It wasn't a lot of money. We ain't talking about thousands of dollars or something like that. But again, it's not enough for you to go and pursue them. And even if you did, even if you win the judgment, they don't have to pay because of where they located. So but you'll probably find that out once you get the lawyer. Okay, where's the guy's domicile out of? Oh, in Florida, yeah. You just got to take that L, man. Because even if we win, they don't have to pay. It's just going to be a judgment against them. They're still going to be in business. They're still going to be booking loads, and that's that. So, your thing is that you got to get a little bit more smarter than them. If they want to play their little games and stuff, we can play our games too. But just don't talk and argue yourself out of money. Get smart, get innovative. A lot of things doesn't require a lot of back and forth stuff. We're trying to be the biggest and the baddest and stuff like that. You're big and you're bad, okay? But you got to use your brain. You got to think and stuff. Okay, how am I going to? Here's an issue right here that I ran into, and they got me out of this money. But there's still a place of business. So how do I recoup? You get smart. You get innovative and stuff. And say, well, I'm gonna get money. And it's going to be in the confines of doing things for the sake of business. It's going to be in a business setting without me not being disrespectful or nothing like that. Okay, well, you're in a bit of a jam, right? Okay, I remember that late fee and stuff I got charged, so go ahead and recoup this money back. Just like I was talking about with China. They shut down all the businesses and stuff like that, but they remember, okay, hey man, listen, when those tariffs and stuff that U.S. charged us, to get that steel over here, we had to pay that. They had to take a loss, but I'm pretty sure every one of them was sitting back and they had to agree, okay, hey man, how do we get these guys back? Well, we'll get them later. We'll formulate a strategy, and when we formulate our strategy, when it's time, we'll implement it. We just need everybody to be on code once it happens. So everybody's on code. We all shut down at the same time, It doesn't matter whether you're in this province or that province or whatever, hey, we all shut down. Because we're going to get our money back. So, hey man, I came down here. I was looking for them. I couldn't find them, and that's okay. That's all right. Y'all got my number though. You know my web, you know my page. You can reach out to me and we can talk and stuff. I don't want to be on the podcast or nothing like that. I'm just telling you is that, man, listen, if you in error and you putting out the wrong type of information, then this is the type of stuff that we go into dialogue with on this page here. I'm not up here to entertain. I'm not up here to entertain or make people feel good. It's not a feel good type of channel. It's a channel that's based upon information. And unfortunately, telling people information is going to be things that you don't like or you don't want to hear. But if you're going to get to a certain position in life, then there are things that you're going to have to do, unfortunately. If you want to get out there and make the money, then you got to stay out here on this road. There's a lot of things you're gonna miss. There's a lot of things that you're gonna miss, but what are you trying to do ultimately? Because if you don't do it, then it's guaranteed that it's not gonna happen. That's the only thing you're guaranteed. But throw yourself in the thick of it. Are you gonna take some L's? Yes, of course. Are you gonna make some mistakes? Of course, you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna take L's, but that's all in the learning process. We don't come out here knowing everything. Once we get that information, then what do? You pass it on to others to make sure that they ain't taking the same L's and stuff that you took, making sure that they don't go through the same struggles that you went through. Because hey, I got comfortable at carriers, and what wind up and stuff, I wind up wasting a lot of time. I could have been in a better position had I just buckled down and did what I was supposed to do. I use myself as an example. I don't claim to know everything, but I know that I've been in this business long enough to know the ins and outs of it. And so, when somebody presents an issue out here and say that, oh, well, yeah, there's a faster way or more better way and stuff, okay, I'm looking at it because I'm doing research on it all the time. I'm just coming up a little shy. So what I have to conclude is that the thing that you're talking about is just not being very genuine. It's just untrue. It's not there. As much as you want for it to be there and stuff, and I wish it was there and stuff so that we can all go and partake in it, but it's just not there. You want that money, you want to get out, you got to get out here and stuff, man, and you got to do the task at hand. You want that $500,000? You want that $500,000? Yeah, you can make it. But that means that you ain't gonna be in the house as much. Tell people, man, shoot, I got a brand new house. I only been to it 3 times. 3. Every time you see me do a video, I'm right over here in this truck. So, trust me, yeah, I like to kick back and take it easy and stuff, and, be in my house and enjoy my house with all my brand new stuff in it. But, to get the house the way that I want it, there's a lot of things I want to get. I want to make sure that these things and stuff in there. I'm not going to settle. I'm not going to go home and stuff in. I'm going to have a room that don't have furniture and stuff in it. I want it to be a house. When I come in there, I want living rooms and I want it laid out with all the ambiances and stuff. In fact, let me spoil myself a little bit. I want a couple of air fryers and stuff like that. I want the state-of-the-art pots and pans and washer and dryers. I deserve it. I get out here and work hard enough for it, but I'm certainly not going to get it sitting in that house. It's just, I can't do that. That's just me. I can't do it and I won't do it. So I accepted that. So I also have to accept the fact that, man, look, you got to stay out here on this road and you got to run until you get it. I know you want to stop by the house. I know you want to, parlay and take it easy, but these things aren't going to sit there and purchase it. They're not going to purchase it themselves. They're not going to fall out of the sky. You got to get out here. You got to get on the ground. You got to make this stuff happen. You got to do the stuff that you just don't like to do. Like I said, I do not like running the Northeast. I don't. Like it down here. It's very comfortable, very quiet. But the fuel and stuff is not. It's not outrageous or whatever. There's plenty of places, to relax, so to speak. But I know I'm going right back up there to Maine. They made it the issue to say, okay, listen, once you get done with this and stuff, we got 2 more loads, and you're gonna final out right up here in Maine and right back in the thick of it. I'm dreading it, but that's where I go. That's where I make my money. That's where it comes consistently. That's what I got to do. Nobody's giving me anything, and nobody's going to give you anything. But, the information that you get, I hope that it's helpful enough to get you to where you have to go. Because I am patient enough to say that if you are lacking certain things, that you are inquiring the information needed and necessary to get you to your goal, right? I want to see you make it. And if I have the information that can get you there, then so be it. The only thing you got to do is just do the things and stuff that I ask. Go on my personal page, you'll see my phone number up there. text me, let me know who you are, let me know what the subject matter is and stuff, and give me enough time, give me enough time to get my things and stuff prepared. So when we get on this phone call, it's just gonna be me and you, and whatever questions that you have, we're gonna fire away. I am long-winded. But the reason why I'm long-winded is to make sure that you get all of the information and that you totally and completely understand it. So when you implement it, it's going to be right on point, and I'm going to be expecting a report from you. So don't want to get up there and do a whole bunch of gossip. Don't want to do a whole bunch of entertaining and all that stuff there. I want to make sure that if you are serious about business and serious about getting yourself to that position that you desire, and you feel that Red Rooster have the information that's needed and necessary for you to get there, then more than welcome to serve for free. For free. Just keep that in mind. You don't have to pay a dime, because most of the information, most of the innovation is going to come off of you. The only thing that you need is the basic know-how to get things rolling. Once you get it rolling, you can figure it out for yourself where you want to go. And that's all it's going to consist of. I want to know the way that I'm going, is it the right way? Nothing needed and necessary about it. But again, just gonna have to deal with the fact, man, I'm gonna tell you a whole bunch of stuff that you ain't gonna like to hear. It's just like when I dealt with my master teacher, Casanova 601. I tell people all the time, I'm over here in the presence of a man who's running a fleet. He's got a fleet of trucks and stuff, and so he tells me some things that I don't want to hear. And what I'm trying to, instead of taking down this information and implementing it, doing what's needed and necessary, I'm trying to get him to co-sign my nonsense and say, okay, well, my way is better. But who's the man that got his own trucks, his own trailer, got his own thing going on and stuff, and who's the one in the lease program? His stuff over here, he's doing this thing and stuff like that. He got people calling him 24 hours. He got family he got to deal with. He trying to set up a couple contracts and stuff here and there, in the midst of all this stuff that's going on. He got time to take a phone call from me, and say, hey man, listen, I'm a little confused about this. Okay, all right, tell me what's going on. Every time, he tell me, son, I don't want to, oh man, dude, come on, man, look, it's got to be a better way. What if I do it this way? Rooster, it ain't gonna work that way. Just trust me, man, it ain't gonna work that way. I tried it. If it could work that way, I'd be doing it. That's the way things got to be right now and stuff. You telling me that you want your own stuff, right? Yeah, well, okay, that's what you got to do. But they're working. Man, there's got to be another way, man. No, it isn't. Well, I guess that's that and stuff. Unless y'all got some questions up here for me, man. Y'all got some questions up here for me. Let's see. T Hill, I remember saying something. He said cheap. Let's see, Hall of Cheap, I'm making a profit. Zach, how will you maintain it with crazy fuel prices and low rates? Well, I'm leased on to a carrier, and I'm leased on to a carrier, and the carrier has contracts, and so, their contracts and stuff kind of stabilizes with the fuel to a point to where I'm not really feeling the sting, because this is where I am right now. I'm not running off no spot market and none of that stuff there. So, just having to understand of the business and how things and stuff work, you communicate with your people. If things don't sound right, if things aren't right, then, you sit down, you have a real conversation about it. None of this stuff about your feelings and your emotions, Well, I'm feeling this certain type of way or whatever, hey, make sure that your conversation is about the business, it's about the money, and see what the reaction is based upon these things when you're in a business setting talking about money. They getting upset over the fact that this is the way that business either operate for the sake of money, then you already know who's stealing your money. Guys, there's no sense in nobody getting upset, you know, but when the gig is up, they've been robbing you this long, and now you up on it, you say, okay, man, listen, you have to pay restitution for these messed up dealings and stuff that you're doing, or, you know, you're going to have to come off on what needs to be coming off. I need to see that rate confirmation sheet, right? The same thing that you see, because it's me being a contractor, you know, you agreed to the load, and so I agreed to the same thing, because stuff ain't adding up, you know. You got these contract loads and stuff that you're doing consistently, but, you know, you're telling me that you're only getting this amount right here, and yet, you know, the cost stuff went up, and nobody's budget. That's a lot, you know, because the second anything start going up out here, you know, first thing they doing, they on the phone talking to the people, you know, hey man, listen, price done went up. Price done went up, man, so this is what's gonna cost you stuff, man, in order to operate. You know, our contract calls for us to negotiate things in times, you know, in times and situations like this, and so, you know, and they ain't got no problem with paying it because they already anticipate it. Okay, well, in their business, they know that, you know, before they even sign the contract, they already anticipate, okay, if things go up, then yeah, we got to renegotiate. If things go down, again, we got to renegotiate. You know, we got to renegotiate the figures and stuff like that to make sure that everything stays in this balance. But when you're in a contract, you can do stuff like that. That's what the contract calls for. You know, spot market is something that you used to could go up there and you can make a living off of it. But, you know, now you can't do it because people don't went in there, and because of the fact that they don't know how to negotiate, talk to people, they go in with their feelings and emotions. They want to they want to buck up with these guys and talk about, oh man, if I see you, it's on site, that stuff there, he 500-600 miles or 1,000 miles away. You're never gonna see him. You're never gonna go in the building. You know, instead of talking about what's real, which is the money, you know, you talk about the money all the time. If it ain't talking about money, okay, well, go hang up and go do something else. You know, I ain't got time to be, you know, I ain't got time to stuff, you know, your feelings and your emotions and all this other stuff here. They understand they understand everything about business, you know. They done been out here long enough, they done heard every single story. So, you know, spare them the details. Spare yourself the detail of trying to explain it. Keep your mindset and everything else about that dollar. That's it. Nothing else. You know, you want to talk about your feelings and your emotions, then put it in the proper place. I mean, you know, that's the problem. We kind of, the places we supposed to be talking about feelings and emotions, you know, they saying that, well, we're not doing it. You know, we're putting the wrong stuff in the wrong place. Nothing emotional about it. There's nothing emotional about business, so just get over it, man. You know, hey, you're stuck in this position right here. You got to figure it out. But, you know, figuring out consists of you being in a business mindset. Nothing else. Hey, look, I ain't concerned about all this little personal stuff. We ain't going to see each other. We ain't going to hang out. I don't want to talk about nothing else except the dollar. That's it. You know, they know that they know that's what they talking to, and, you know, for the most part with drivers. They know that they're talking to drivers consistently about the business. You know, a lot of this nonsense will cut out. You know, same old rhetoric, same old story. They know what's going on. They know the rules and regulations of the road. They know you got shut down, traffic jams. They know you got held up. They got the email and stuff. Okay, man, listen, your load gonna be late because the product just wasn't ready. I know you ordered this product and stuff, man, you know, but drop dead time, that's what it is. They got the email, so they know. You ain't got to explain nothing to them. You know, you ain't got to explain nothing to the broker. They know. You got hemmed up. They get those emails. They in the loop all the time because if there's any kind of change, anything, first thing they go in there and talk about, hey, listen, we need my money. You know, my truck went over here. It picked up on time. You got to sit here 12, 13 hours. They already own it because the contract that they signed consists of that. Okay, after this certain amount of time, you know, you got to start paying this. And again, the customer agrees and they also gonna pay. But you know, miscommunication is what messes a lot of things up. And so, you know, when you over here talking to people, a lot of times you talking to people, they ain't got no understanding about business. a shipping clerk, a receiving clerk. They just work that 9 to 5 and stuff, and all they know to do is what their boss tell them to do. Man. You check people in, and that's that. You check them in, you tell them to go sit over there and stuff, and you call them. That's it. Hey, all the other stuff, the ins and outs about business and what's making money, you don't worry about that. You do this job right here, and after that, you're more than welcome to go on Facebook and Instagram, you know, all your little social media pages and stuff, and play on the phone, play on the computer. But, you know, the guys come in, you make them sign in, tell them to go sit over there, and that's it. We ain't got to do no initiative. You leave the thinking to us. You going in there and trying to explain to these people and stuff, and they bit more care like that. Hey, you care about that. Boss man said this is what got to be. This is what boss man say. You know, so quit speaking to employees and wasting your time with employees because they don't know anything about the business. That's why they're employees. You know, that's why they're there. Hey, listen, you know, I just want to be given some directives, go here and do my time and stuff, and that's that. I can care less about business and how money and stuff is made. I just know that my paycheck on Friday, when I get it, I better not be 1 penny short. Or I'm gonna start raising some sand. So let your conversations be effective. The only way they can be effective is those who got the same, who not got more to lose than you. That's that. So, say if y'all ain't got any questions and stuff for me, then I'll go ahead and conclude tonight's broadcast. I certainly appreciate everybody tuning in. I hope that the information that I gave was helpful. As always, it's your man right here, the one and only, that beautiful man Rooster. I'm telling you, if you need to get in contact with me, my phone number's up here. It's on my personal page up here on YouTube. Get the number, text me first, let me know who you are, let me know what the subject matter is. Make sure that it's about trucking. Make sure it's about trucking. As long as it's about trucking, I can definitely help you in that area there. I'll let you know when I can get back with you. We can all set something up and go and constructive dialogue. Answer any and all questions that you may have. So, if you're not following me on Instagram, I don't see why you're not. It's free. Instagram, Rhode Island Red Rooster 22 on Instagram. I'm always posting things about my 2013 Fremont Cascadia. And with that being said, I always leave you telling you to continue to do your own research, fact-finding studies. Honestly, your skills every day. Next time we talk, next time we meet, be safe.